Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to J&J Studios, and in today's video we are going to be talking about episode 11 of Bad Batch called Devil's Deal. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be going over some of the review of the episode and also a little theory towards the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So, just so we can all get a brief recap of this episode before I get into my theory. We start off this episode clearly on Ryloth, seeing the Senator of Ryloth with a bunch of Imperials, talking to the people of Ryloth, trying to convince them that the presence of the Empire is actually a good thing and that the Empire is here to just secure their freedom and things like that. And we see a lot of mixed emotions coming from the people of Ryloth. A lot of the people from Ryloth do not obviously like the Senator, as we see in the beginning of the episode, where they're booing and obviously disapproving what he's saying. And then we see the General of Ryloth step up to the podium, and he starts talking to the people, and he convinces the people that everything's going to be all right, that the presence of the Empire is good, and he ends up calming the people down, and the people listen to him and cheer for him. Now, throughout this entire episode, we find out that actually this is kind of where Hera, who we saw in Star Wars Rebels, if you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, you should definitely go watch it, because that plays a big story and helps you understand what's going on in this episode. Hera was one of the main characters in Star Wars Rebels, and we see her as a kid, and we kind of see some of what happened to her as a kid when the Empire first formed, and how like all these things affected her as a child, and what obviously led to her hatred and things like that for the Empire, and why she wants to defeat the Empire, and why she joined the Rebels, and things like that. And we really do see all of these events that led up to Hera's hate for the Empire. So we also see Chopper, who's Hera's droid, who we also seen in Star Wars Rebels. And we just see a lot of the events that had taken place. And, in the episode, we see Hera go with her father's friend and his assistant. And they go to smuggle in weapons onto Ryloth because the Empire had actually just taken away all of Ryloth's weapons. And funny enough that their contact that had sent them weapons happened to be the Bad Batch crew. And we see Hera meet Omega, and we see a lot of just interactions going on between them. And I find this very interesting because I actually wouldn't have guessed that Hera had met the Bad Batch crew, but here we find out that she did, and that she knew them. And especially Omega, because Omega was the one who was the most friendly to her. But after Hera and her father's friend smuggle these weapons that they just got from the Bad Batch crew onto Ryloth, they are actually caught by the Empire, and they're caught by Crosshair. And Crosshair, who is also based on this planet, hunts down Hera and the rest of the people that were on the ship who had smuggled the weapons onto Ryloth with Hera. And they actually end up capturing Hera and putting her on a convoy to one of the prisons. Then we see the General, who's Hera's father, and Hera's mother get involved, and they went and go rescue Hera. And we see that this starts a whole big conflict. We see that the Senator dies to Crosshair. Crosshair actually sniped the Senator and ended up killing him. And this is really surprising because the Galactic Senate is what helps keep the galaxy in order, and that's what we know. And I don't know how killing a senator of Ryloth is going to help the Empire maintain stability, especially on Ryloth, but we'll see in the next episode what exactly happens, and that'll lead to my theory, where we see that the people of Ryloth, are going to probably be the first people to rebel on this new empire, because they are not happy, especially if their senator just died. Like, even though their senator didn't fight for the things that they believed in and represented them, they still obviously that the senator is still, their people, and to see that their empire is completely dominating over their planet after they were promised that after the war ended that they would leave, and that they clearly haven't, the people of R'lyeh are going to be mad. So that leads to my theory that the people of R'lyeh are going to rebel against the Empire, and it's going to be a huge battle, in a sense, and we're going to see how Hera and the rest of her family plays a big portion in this rebellion. And that'll conclude the video. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate the support. We love that you guys are enjoying our stop motions especially. Please make sure, if you guys didn't already, to go watch that last video. And other than that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.